Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pass the Scoreboard. I'm Gianluca.
And I'm Justin, and we're gonna be doing our
Second round.
we're gonna be talking about round two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, someone was calling me.
oh, it's okay. So the playoffs are
Um,
well
yeah.
and underway. The first round literally ended last night with one of the more crazy games of recent memory. Um, we're gonna do a quick little recap of our predictions from the first round. Um, yeah, let's get into it. We'll start in the West. We both had Vegas. Uh,
Yep.
so that's one each. I had Edmonton.
I had LA.
You didn't have Edmonton, so I was right. And after the first two games, it looked like LA was gonna sweep their asses. I'm being serious.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I'll just say this. It's a good thing that the Oilers decided to start Calvin Pickard over
Yes,
Stuart Skinner because, like, my
yes.
God, Skinner did not play well at all. Um,
And the Kings, this glad they decided to fire their coach because
yeah, you know what? It was not necessarily helping out. So
I'm sorry, game three, that game is tied. You do a stupid challenge, right? Where
yeah,
they looked at the play literally 2 minutes ago. They said it was a goal. You challenged it, and they scored because you lost the challenge. You gave up a penalty, and Bouchard scored. So you know what? You guys deserve to lose. Your franchise
yeah,
is
you're just kind of handing out power plays, right? It doesn't help. So,
exactly. So yeah.
um, so
We
that,
both
and then we both got Dallas, Colorado wrong
yeah.
because
What
Mikko Rantanen scored like what
that game seven was
three
freaking
times? He
nuts.
scored what three times in the span of like 12 minutes, and yeah, sends them to round two. That game or that series is probably like the tightest, I'd say.
It was the best one, I think. Like that
Yeah,
game
like
seven, it was
entertainment wise,
crazy.
like the back and forths. I mean, it was unreal.
And then what other series in the West that we can say?
Winnipeg and St.
St. Louis. Yeah, we both
Louis.
have Winnipeg, and we were both
Yeah,
1.6 seconds away from being wrong.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd say that was like we both got that one right, but it was definitely the one that was like most embarrassing, I'd say, for the team that we were getting right. Because think about it, Winnipeg, President's Trophy winners, and I don't think it's safe to say that they played their best hockey. I mean, even when they tied it in
No,
game seven with 1.6 seconds left, we were talking about it
I
before we hit
actually
record.
thought that game seven was probably their best. Like, okay, maybe game seven wasn't their best game, but after the first period, they played really well.
Yeah, no,
Um,
no, no, for sure. But overall, throughout all seven games, it wasn't the best. I think if you put them against like most of the other teams in the West, I think they're probably eliminated. But I mean,
yeah.
they showed why they're President's Trophy winners, I guess, with 1.6 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, so that was the West and the East. Carolina beat New Jersey. Nobody really cared. Let's be honest, nobody cared about the
Yeah.
series.
Although
Uh,
I will say this though, Carolina looks dangerous
they
after
look
that.
good. Um, Montreal, we both picked Montreal. We were both wrong about the
Yeah,
Capitals.
I mean, you know what? The games were fairly tight, but like they definitely had Washington on their heels a couple times. But I mean, the Habs are what the first time in the playoffs in like 4 years, and then
Hmm.
even then they're still a very young team, and
And
you
then
could
also speaking
say
of
like,
wrong, it looks like we were dead wrong about Florida because we both picked the Lightning and
you know
Florida
what?
just
I
stomped
want to
them.
come back to that because that one I feel like we can discuss way more about it. So,
Oh, they
um,
just curb stomped them,
yeah,
honestly.
like you know
Uh,
what? Yeah, well, we'll come back to it in a second, but
they
I mean,
look they look like Stanley Cup champions, Florida.
yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
then the Leafs beat the
Leafs
Sens.
beat the Sens. You had them in what, five or something
I
like
had them
that?
in five. I was
I
close
had
to
this.
being.
It was close to being my prediction, which was the Senators in seven. For
In
a
the
little
middle.
bit, for a little like, for a little bit, I was like, "There's no way this is gonna
The
happen."
thing about that series is like I don't know. The Leafs weren't really convincing even when they were up 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's because 5-on-5, the Leafs I don't think are necessarily the best. On a power play, obviously the Leafs are going to be pretty good, but 5-on-5, the Senators looked
Good.
pretty controlling at times, but I mean, the Leafs ultimately won, right? So
Yep.
I guess
Just
the
their
better
second
team will be
series in
moving
the
on.
past 21 years. All right. So
So
let's do
yeah,
it.
so and
Second.
then well yeah, and then yeah, the Panthers, yeah, they as you said, they curb stomped
Yeah.
the
So
Lightning.
let's just get right into it. We'll start with the West. Do we do Vegas, Edmonton first or Winnipeg, Dallas?
Let's go with Vegas, Edmonton first.
Vegas, Edmonton. Okay, this is a very interesting series. Um,
Because this exact matchup in this exact round has happened before
didn't it
two
happen
years
last
ago.
year? Two
Two
years
years,
ago.
2 years ago. Vegas,
That's when
Vegas, Vegas got bounced in round one last year,
I forgot, man. That's
surprisingly.
bad memory. So yeah, um, this is interesting because I think Vegas are the favorites, but then
Hmm.
again, the way Edmonton is looking like they're putting their best hockey together at exactly the right time.
And it looks like their coaching
Exactly.
has become
And
better
if
considering Skinner has become the backup.
and all that they have to do is just have average goaltending. And I think if they have average goaltending, I'm sorry, I think they're winning because they have such a dynamic team, especially with those two guys that they
Hmm.
both, like we said, spammed, right? In the first round. They both had great numbers. They both played great. They're probably gonna do it again. Um, so I'm gonna pick the Oilers right off the bat. I'm picking them in six. I think they're winning this series, and they're
Okay.
gonna advance to the Western Conference Finals again. Sorry, Vegas. But yeah, like I said,
Um,
I just think they need average goaltending, and I think they'll win.
okay. Well then, you know what? See, this series is tough because both teams showed how good they can be and how bad they can be. But
But
again, I
you know
think this is
what, though?
like a very even.
I think Minnesota were the most unexpected team for me in the playoffs, the way they played. They played really well. Like,
Oh, they gave Vegas a run for their
they had a
money.
chance to go up 3-1. They were one goal away from going up 3-1. So, like, Minnesota is one of those teams where, like, they're probably better than where they finished, but because of injuries, they finished
Yeah,
there.
and I mean, like, look, Kaprizov was not there for a
Exactly.
while, so I feel like if he was, they would
Exactly.
have been in a different spot. But I mean, um, okay, so I guess my prediction, I don't know, it's tough. I'm gonna say I might have to go against the grain here and go Vegas in seven.
Yes, and
Again,
so-
it's one of these very tight series that you just don't know, right? But I'm
Yeah.
also going off of their rematch of last year, or sorry, 2 years ago. And here's the thing too, Calvin Pickard, don't get me wrong, he did everything he could against LA and he in fact beat them. But Vegas scores much more goals than
Then
LA
LA.
does. So I think that will
But
ultimately
I
be the
don't
difference.
think that's gonna matter because when you have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, you're gonna score at least 4 goals every game.
Yeah, but look at the decor in Vegas.
It's
If they were able to shut down um McDavid and Draisaitl 2 years ago, most of that decor is pretty much the same. If not, you could probably say it's even gotten slightly better. Like if they're just
probably,
gonna
yeah.
if they match lines against them, I think they could easily just shut them
Oh,
out.
I agree. I think Vegas is the better team, but I'm taking the Oilers because I'm going off the vibes.
All right. Okay.
No.
So that's all
All right,
right.
so
So
we're
that
going
that settles that. Vegas in seven, and you said Edmonton six.
six. Who's the MVP of this year is gonna be? Well, I'll just say the obvious. Oh, fucking
Okay.
McDavid.
Okay. For first of all, I want to clarify that for MVP of the series, it could be winning or losing team, considering McDavid was the Conn Smythe last year
Facts.
of a losing team. Um, That being said, I don't know if I can really say a name. Like I want to say McDavid, but that's like a very obvious answer.
I mean, you can go like X Factor,
If we're
maybe
gonna go
like
X Factor, I'm gonna go like I'm thinking Vegas right now, just because
yeah.
because obviously that's the team I have winning. But if we're gonna go X Factor there, I'm gonna go with what's his name, Pavel Dorofiev.
Okay.
Like he came up like he came up earlier this year, and at one point he just lit it up. Like he was playing on the first power play unit. He was playing with Jack Eichel. I'm pretty sure like the guy was going nuts. So I think he could be a huge difference maker. So yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll
Sorry.
see.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a close series, though. This
Yeah, no,
one,
easily it'll be tight. Yeah.
the next one, I have no idea who's going to win. Okay, the Stars look
And
like
the Jets.
the Stars and the Jets, based off vibes, both of these teams have fantastic vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
First
yeah.
off, I I said Avalanche in five. I'm pretty sure because you know
Is of Robertson being
Jason
out?
Robertson was hurt. Who else were they missing? They were missing somebody else.
Heiskanen.
I, Heiskanen was hurt. So I'm like, okay. And the Avalanche just had, they always have a great team. So I'm like,
And
yeah,
the Avalanche are the Avalanche, so
yeah.
that
So I'm like, this is going to be close. But damn, they they came out and they played. And the Jets, obviously, they're President's Trophy winners. You saw the Jets yesterday. They went down 3-1. They were down to like 2 minutes left, and
and then yeah, like it was literally 3-1 until the final 2 minutes of the game.
they still found a way to get it done. Um, I think this is hard.
I have my answer.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Dallas in you know what? I'm gonna say Dallas in five.
Five? Really?
You know what? I'll say this. The President's Trophy is a curse.
It is.
Like those
Haven't
teams
more
never win. I'm
teams
sorry.
lost in the first round than have won the cup?
Like, yeah, yeah, or just not one in general. Yeah, like the I guess the best performing President's Trophy team that I remember was last year's team, the New York Rangers, who went as far as the conference finals, but then obviously the Panthers kind of had other plans. But uh yeah, no, I mean I think and with if Hellebuck's playing the way he is,
Oh Lord. But
it might not be.
he played good yesterday and after the
Yeah,
second goal.
after like the first period or whatever, he
Yeah,
settled in. But even then,
man,
throughout that
but
series,
that
he was
second
just
goal,
not.
that's one of those goals where like it goes in and it's like you want to feel bad for him because like what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, but like,
it was a good shot, but at the same
mhm,
time, who scored that goal
yeah,
for the Blues? Buchnevich?
I think so. Yeah,
It was a good
but
shot, but like,
um,
a Vezina Trophy winner should save that. Um,
yeah, yeah. You know what? but yeah. So yeah, again, I'll just go with Dallas in five.
I'm also going to take Dallas, but I'm going to say seven.
Okay.
I think they have the better team, uh,
Yeah.
which is weird because the Jets won the President's Trophy. But like, I don't know, man. I think
Dallas's team is definitely better all around. I
I think
think.
this is this year where fuck it, like with the way the Mikko Rantanen coming and he getting, because after he got traded to Carolina, his year has been kind
Mhm.
of mid. But man,
Oh, I would even go to say it was worse than mid
it was
because
bad. But
like
then,
like some people might even say is the only reason he was good was because he played on the Nathan McKinnon line.
well, that theory is now dead because you saw in
What he did to Nathan McKinnon and
yes,
the team that he
that is
played
one of
for.
those performances where like um he was like, get the hell out of my way, give me the puck, and I'm gonna win us the game.
And yeah, and I'm gonna send us to round two by
Exactly.
myself.
Like that's like a superstar. So I remember the Leafs wanted to trade for him and give up Mitch Marner. So like it, it it's
Yeah.
It's that's the reason why
Yeah,
that
like
was
because
kind of
well, and the most teams beside the Leafs are much more grittier and they actually throw hits. They work harder. I'm not saying that the Leafs don't work hard, but you know what I mean. Like they have that attitude built in them, right? Whereas the Leafs, at least the core four, are like I want to say softish, but
yeah. But I
softer
agree with you
compared to the other
for the
guys.
Jet to have any sort of chance,
Hmm.
Hellenic has to be a Vezina trophy win
Yeah, yeah,
level,
no,
or else
easily,
or else they're not going to win the series. So then
yeah,
that would mean for me it would be an Oilers Stars
and for me it would be Vegas
Vegas.
Stars, which
And
would also be a rematch from 2 years ago if that happens.
did they play in the conference final or first
They
round?
did, they did
In
the
the conference
conference
final.
finals,
All right.
but
So yeah. So that's it for the West.
to the East we go.
To the East we'll do the one that doesn't have the Leafs. We'll do Capitals, Hurricanes.
Hmm.
The East for me is a bit more clear, like as in what I think is going to happen. Capitals and Hurricanes, I think this is gonna be. I'm sorry, Capitals, I'm picking against you again. The Hurricanes just looked really, really good against the Devils, albeit I think the Devils were the worst team in the playoffs. Like,
E
I just think they have
for I would say for the spot that they were like for the seed that they were, yeah, they were the worst
I just think
team.
overall, I think they just have so many. They can't score. Um, they
Yeah,
just
they also didn't have Jack Hughes,
they
so
didn't
that
have Jack Hughes.
doesn't help, but still.
Markstrom kind of sucks. Um,
Yeah, he did choke.
so yeah, I'm gonna say Canes. I'll give the Capitals their due, and I'll say Canes in seven. Okay, I think the Caps will try because they want to get Ovechkin one more cup. But the Canes, they're kind of like the stars of the East. I think I said that in the last video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They just have so many weapons, and they can win games in lots of different ways.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Which
their
is which is
goaltending
funny
is
you which is funny you say Canes in seven because it looks like both of us are going to be banking on the Carolina Hurricanes
in
to win
seven.
in seven
But
games.
I
Yeah,
will say
that's
this
gotta
though. I
happen.
think the winner of Panthers Leafs, which we'll get to in a sec, I think they'll beat Carolina, in my opinion. In my opinion. I think because I think at that point, like let's say the Leafs win and beat
Mhm.
Florida, I think that they'll be so battle tested that they'll probably beat Carolina. Because I
Yeah,
think
oh yeah.
right. So I think yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
So
you also said
yeah,
seven.
yeah. So I'm gonna say Carolina in seven. Also, again, it's these two teams did face um in 2019, was it? I believe.
And they play in 2021 too.
I
Because
don't think I don't think so.
no,
Uh,
okay.
I don't remember that. But Carolina, Washington faced off in 2019. Washington was like number two in the
Didn't
conference or
they get
something like that.
swept?
No, no, that was also a game seven. But even the game
Oh,
seven
what was the year that Carolina swept their round two opponent and then got swept by Boston? Was it?
that year,
Oh,
because they beat Washington in seven, they swept the Islanders, and then they get swept by Boston.
Boston. Okay.
But
So I
again,
have
this
the
was
years correct.
yeah, yeah. But this was the first time I believe that year was the first time that the Canes like had been in the playoffs in like 15 years or something stupid
The
like that. I
Canes are
don't
a
know.
very
In a
interesting.
while.
Yeah, they're a very interesting team in the sense that like whenever they make the playoffs, they kind of do perform. Like they kind of
They
show up.
like dude, like if they can just get over that hump, I think they're like they might be a better team than some of the other playoff teams or whatever. Like they're so dangerous and
Yeah, they have.
I think their defense first mentality makes like the biggest difference
Their
because
defense is
it's
pretty
like
good. Pretty
because
good.
it's like yeah, sorry. Because
Um,
because it's like you give them a break, right? You make a couple of mistakes, they score two on you, and then like they just shut down and you can't do anything about it. So
Shout out Washington. Good for you. Washington, yeah, you're in a good position because you have lots of young players. So yeah,
yeah.
you'll be fine. All right. This is the one
So
I
yeah.
want to talk about because
It's also a rematch from 2 years ago in the exact same round.
yes, it's kind of like this playoff format sucks. But we all know that, except for the commissioner. For some bizarre reason, this guy loves this playoff format. But whatever.
Shout out, Gary.
Leafs
Thanks,
Panthers.
Gary. You bum. I mean, commissioner of the NHL.
Like,
Anyway, let's talk about
yeah,
this.
Leafs Panthers.
You
God.
tell me. You say it first, because
Um, my heart wants to say Leafs, but like, here's the thing. If the Leafs, okay, let's say the Leafs lose in game four against Ottawa. If the Leafs would have came out in game five and like killed the Senators and won like 4-0, I probably would have picked Leafs.
yeah,
But the way that series ended, okay, they got the job done. You know, they uh, that series still could have ended completely different because Ottawa
yeah.
tied the game in game six.
hmm
All Leafs fans were fucking panicking, and then they got the goal, very clutch goal.
I think what you're trying to say basically is they won, but they did not do it as
They won, but they
convincingly.
didn't
But
convince me that
they weren't convincing.
yeah,
Exactly,
they
exactly.
won, but they didn't convince me that they're ready yet, right?
Yeah, no, 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 no.
So therefore, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take the Panthers, and I'm taking the Panthers in six. Um,
Okay.
when that series was over, I was like, oh man, Panthers in five, they're gonna kill us. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be competitive. Um, but yeah, I think the Panthers are still too good. I think the Panthers are probably gonna go back to the Cup final again.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're
So,
they're a lot more healthy than what we thought.
yeah, exactly. Well, and like like you said, or like we said earlier, they're battle tested,
Yeah.
right? Like
Like
they
they're kind of like a more beefed up version of Ottawa in every single way, even their Kachuk brother.
yeah, yeah, literally
Right?
like I don't want to be mean to Brady, but the Leafs are literally eliminating one Kachuk just to face the better one
Right? So,
and potentially get bounced by that one.
and they're also more nasty. Like,
Yeah, they're you know what? They're an annoying team.
this is one of those series for the Leafs that, like, whenever you fucking get a power play, you have to fucking do good because
Yeah.
these guys are not going to give you a lot of chances 5-on-5. You
Oh,
can't give up no
no.
fucking, please don't give up no shorthanded goals because,
Which
like,
they did
which
twice.
they did against Ottawa. So it's going to be a tough series. The only way I see the Leafs winning this series is if the core four explodes. Like
Yeah.
they just get
If they literally just do what they're supposed to do.
either one of them has to have McDavid numbers and one of them has to have Draisaitl numbers, and I think then they'll have a chance. Or another way is if Stolarz steals a
Just
couple games.
just if Stolar's Bobrovsky.
Yeah, if he steals a couple games. If one of those two things happen, which it could, I think the Leafs will win, but I don't see that happening, so I'm picking
Yeah,
Florida.
So with that being said, I will also say Florida, but I will go with my gut and I will say five
Hmm.
because listen, Florida, you got to remember, right? A lot of good teams when they come in to play, um, you know that they're good, but with the Panthers, it's different because they're not just a good team. They're the defending Stanley Cup champions, and they're the team that's been to the finals in the last 2 years. And
But will this
last
be a year
year,
that a non-Florida team makes the finals?
you know what? I think the only chance of that happening is if Carolina is Carolina. I mean, well, it will be the only chance. It'll be Carolina or Washington that does it, but I feel like if Carolina wins against Washington and then they beat Florida, I think they're going to win the whole thing. That
Um,
team that team is nuts. Like,
so
but
after all the predictions is settled, who's your favorite for the cup so far?
Florida, Florida.
I would probably
I
say
hate to
Florida
say
too.
it. I hate to say it, but the Panthers, it's again, right? Like going back to um like it's like how you were talking about the vibe with a few of the teams or whatever
Yeah.
that were advancing and stuff. The vibe with them is they're coming into your town, into your arena, and they're gonna run you over, whether you
Oh,
like it or not.
also, Scotiabank Arena has to be louder. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Game 5. I understand the fans were nervous, but like
But like you know,
you have to try to
you gotta
get
cheer, right?
you have
Like
to get loose. Okay, you have to
no,
try to get loose.
absolutely. It's but I mean, here, let's even look at the regular season this year, right? To see the Panthers like how they've done against
Pretty sure it was like
some of the teams in the playoffs. So, like again, the Panthers did not look as great as they did last year. However, I'm gonna I would say that once you make the playoffs,
all that shit goes. Remember,
yeah,
2 years ago they barely snuck in.
and they made Boston, the greatest regular season team
Exactly.
of all time, look like shit
Yes.
while
So,
being down 3-1. So,
so
but I mean, like the Panthers beat like the Panthers and the Leafs the regular season this year. It's been tight. Like
didn't the Leafs only
I
win one game against them?
I think they split.
They went two and they split.
Or hold on, one, uh, two.
I'll be honest.
Sorry,
I don't.
the Panthers went 3-1
Yeah,
against the Leafs.
yeah, that's what I thought. But
But
I don't
again,
really, I don't give a crap about that shit.
no,
Like
no, no, no.
even the Leafs win was, I think Kachuk wasn't playing. I think
Yeah.
they had a couple of, like they had a lots of
Well,
injuries.
and you know, here's the thing too, right? Like with the injuries, like being stopped, or like with them being over now. Kachuk's back, um, and he's like one of the most. He might be even more physical than Brady. You know what I mean? Like a pest, right?
But I
Like he
will
might
say
be.
this though, and I think lots of Leaf fans would agree with me on this. Scott Laughton is an amazing pickup, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he needs to play
He
more.
needs to. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's the one guy on the team that like
Actually hits people and
I think
stuff
he
like that.
wants that. I think he wants to like, you know,
Be
go
the
toe to toe
annoying. Be the
with
annoying guy.
yeah. I think he wants to go toe to toe with Kachuk and like, for physicality.
Yeah, or just the Pan like Sam Bennett or and
Exactly.
Brad. Oh yeah, and I think we're ignoring the fact, or we're forgetting about the fact that the Panthers also got like one of the best defensemen in the league. Maybe you could say that, Seth Jones, and then they also got Brad Marchand. So,
Oh my God. Oh my God. Brad Marchand. I forgot that.
that's also partly why I'm saying the Leafs in, or sorry, the Panthers in five because
Shut up, Brad Marchand.
because it's not easy to stop them. And Marchand's played against the Leafs in the playoffs a ton. He knows how to get under most of those guys' skin because most of those guys are the same guys that he's eliminated all those times. So
Yeah.
I just
He
I don't know. I
he
don't see
I
any way
remember,
around it.
was it 2013 where Brad Marchand literally threw a bottle on the ice because he didn't like the way a face-off was set up, so he threw a bottle on the ice to stop the play.
That I don't know. 2013. I was only 9 at the time, so
But
um,
that is when I realized the Leafs were cursed.
I
So
wasn't necessarily paying attention to that. I'm really sorry, but
that will always be in my memory. That game, that night.
so
So
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know, but
those are our
yeah.
predictions.
So
Uh,
the only ones that we
the only
thought
ones we
different,
didn't agree on were Vegas and Edmonton.
Edmonton.
That's the only thing.
But either way, I'm pretty sure we both said it would be in like 6 or 7 games. So
I
it's
said six, you said seven.
yeah, like
Yeah.
either way, it's gonna be tight, and we know it.
Yes.
So,
Okay,
but
well, we have about
yeah.
4 minutes left. Should we talk about the Jays for a bit?
Oh God. Uh,
I'm already giving up on this season. I'm gonna be honest with you.
cancel the parade for like the next 5 years.
Yeah, it was a good start.
Clean house,
The
like
thing about the Jays is that
dude,
so
like
far, early in this year, it doesn't seem that they can pitch and hit in the same game. Whenever their offense looks good, their pitching turns to shit.
yeah. So it's I don't know.
Like that Cleveland series is
It
the
was tight.
opposite. It was the opposite of the Boston one.
Yeah.
We won. Okay, game one, we won game one. Game two looks really good. Who was the pitcher that came in? Was it Yimi Garcia?
Yeah, Jimmy gave up a grand slam or whatever.
To that damn guy who hit the home run at the
Daniel
previous.
Schneeman.
He fit a home run in the previous at bat. All right, he comes up and he hits a grand slam to win Guardians the game. It's just
Yeah,
frustrating because
it
like
is. But I mean, you know what? I will say this: it is only May, so it's either I'll tell you it'll. This is how it's gonna go. It's gonna go one of two ways. They're either gonna get better over time, or they're just gonna get worse. Like there's no, I don't know.
we need to
Even
like
even
if they
saying
want to
that,
be competitive this year, we have to make a trade for a bat.
we also need to clear all of our fucking front office, it seems, because like my
Yes,
God,
and also get some bullpen help.
yeah, yeah, we
Get
need.
some bats, get a bat, and get a bullpen.
Dude,
At
they
the
need
bullpen.
they need arms big time.
They did sign two pitchers the other day. But yeah,
But even then, like
yeah,
their pitching staff in general needs bolstering and Bowden Francis is maybe showing us that it was a
he's
bit of a
having a pretty
fluke.
bad start.
Yeah, like what's his ERA? 5.5 almost.
I
So
thought it was 580. Maybe I'm wrong.
yeah, it might
Um,
have gone down, but either way, anything above 3.5 is not the prettiest number.
if you
So
have above 4.5, you're having a rough year. At 4.5,
I would even say 3.5 is not great. Like maybe that's me being hard on
well,
some of
there's
them, but
context too. Like
yeah, that's true.
if your ERA is at 3.6, but your WHIP is like below one, that suggests to me that you're doing pretty good. But like you give up, you have one bad inning, right?
Yeah, no, it's
So it's
very, very true.
context. You can have like a two ERA and
But
your
have a whip
defense,
of like 1.5 or
yeah,
something
and your
stupid
defense
like
could be
that.
amazing. You got amazing defense, amazing glove.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it depends. There's context to everything. But yeah,
But
what's the
but either
record?
way,
Jay's record now?
his ERA and his whip are both very high.
He's having a bad.
Um,
They're two games below 500, right?
I believe after yesterday they are. I'm gonna clarify that just in a second. I know this meeting is about to end, but they are at the moment they are. Yeah, you're right. 2 games below 500, and the team that they're facing is 7 games below 500. So
That's the
fingers
Angels,
crossed.
right?
Yeah, that's the fucking Angels, the goddamn
They
Angels.
should sweep the Angels, but like
You, welcome to Toronto. You just don't know what's gonna happen, right? So
Vlad needs to step it up. Uh,
they honestly, I think it's fair to say that they all need to step it
they
up.
all need to do better.
Yeah,
That time there is looking better, at least.
not great. Yeah,
Even
better than
better.
the start, but still.
Boba Chef
Well,
finally hit his first home run. Uh,
he's the only one I thought was not doing like terribly.
but
Definitely
yeah.
should be doing. They all should be doing more. That's for sure. But I think
I'm
like
giving up on the year. Chase, good job.
honestly, I kind of am too. But that's what happens when you are the fan of a Toronto team. So
like
yeah.
so yeah. That's it,
All right. Well,
everybody.
that's that. Thanks for watching our episode of Pass the Scoreboard. We'll see how
The
round two
Leafs are
goes
gonna
out.
beat the Panthers. I'm changing my pick. Not really, but I'm just gonna be positive. Leafs are gonna beat the Panthers. We're gonna make the cup and we're gonna take it home, baby. This is our year.
No shot.
Yeah. All right, everyone.
Oh
Thank you
my
so much.
God.